picture?
Well, you're asking a lot. You're asking me to describe exactly how blockchain works, what Bitcoin is, how this affects the greater picture, but I'll try to do that. The blockchain, basically, for a lot of people out there, if you're around and you used to trade music on things like Napster, or if you even use things like torrents today, that's generally what the blockchain is. It's basically a bunch of information that is spread out over thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of computers. And in that sense, it's completely decentralized. And so in that sense, it can't really be stopped by anyone. And of course, the biggest people out there always trying to stop things are the government. They want to stop it for numerous reasons, partly because they want to rob everyone, extort them for taxes. Secondly, they don't like things to actually improve because then people will realize that government just gets in their way. So that's one of the main benefits of what you call the blockchain is, and that's what backs Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is essentially numbers, or essentially math that's on a blockchain. That blockchain, as I pointed out, is just not really anywhere. It's actually everywhere all at once. So there is no Bitcoin CEO, there is no Bitcoin company, there is no Bitcoin head office. If there was, it already would have been shut down by the government because they want to stop it. And the reason they want to stop it is because money is very, very important. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that, but it's quite important. They don't really teach you anything about it in the government indoctrination camps of your 12 years that they waste of putting you basically in a prison-like environment. They don't teach you anything about money, and that's on purpose because they don't want you to know anything about it. They don't want you to know what the Federal Reserve is. The Federal Reserve was an actual takeover of the United States that happened on December 23rd, 1913. It's been going on ever since. They keep acting like it's not a big scam or a big mafia, but it is. That's all it is. And when you have control of the money supply, and I think it was actually one of the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds were essentially the people who came up with the idea of central banking and started to do it, and they still control most of the central banks in the world today. And I believe they said something along the lines of, I don't care who makes the laws as long as I control the money. And that's essentially their plan and their idea, and that's how it works. That's how they control most governments in the world today, because they control the money supply, because they control most of the central banks. And so because of that, they don't want anyone to be able to distribute their own money, especially a money that's much better than the current money we have today, which is absolutely garbage. The US dollar Federal Reserve note, which is actually what it's called, that's what's written on it. It also has a pyramid with an all-seeing eye on the back of it. No one seems to notice that. Very brainwashed population apparently don't even notice what's on their so-called money. But it's terrible money. It's basically a piece of paper with dead criminals printed on it that people accept in transaction for things of value, which is absolutely insane.